make it a large percentage. And when in fact, I like mutual funds. Mutual funds are easy to monitor. They're easy to see. They're in your 401k plans, and they're in your 457 plans. They're available. They're easy to track. If I have clients that want to buy individual stocks, then I'll sometimes accommodate them or help them, but I don't make any recommendations on individual stocks. The best question that a person can ask when you're buying an individual stock, this is the first question that I ask. If they want to buy the stock, I said, when are you going to sell it? I said, well, I don't know. I said, well, pick a target. Pick a target price. When it gets to that price, you're going to sell it. Are you going to sell it? What happens is they get to that, I had one client that bought Martha Stewart when she went to jail. It was a great buy. But then she didn't sell it when the price went up. The price went up 4 times. So she didn't sell it. Now it's back down to where it was. Almost. So stocks can be volatile to individual stocks, but individual mutual funds might hold 150 to 300 companies in it, so they're more diversified.
In the house, if you're getting a pretty good rate of return on your investments, does it still make sense to try to pay down that balance early?
Now that's an individual financial planning question. I have some clients that I will answer yes, and other clients I will say no. It kind of depends on what your overall picture looks like. How much do you have in savings? Are you maxing out everything else? Because once you give the money to the lender, there's only one way you're going to get it back. Yeah. So if you want to prepay your house, maybe set up a separate fund somewhere else and put your extra money in there and earmark it for the mortgage payoff. And just keep putting it in. Because then if you have an emergency 5 years down the road and you really need money bad, maybe the lender won't let you have a credit line. Maybe your home equity line of credit's been cut off. You can't get it. But if you had to, you could get to this side fund. And if it gets a good rate of return that's actually greater than the interest that you're paying, maybe it'll grow faster than the mortgage can be paid off. So maybe that's a good way to pay it off. I like that second idea better. Although I paid my mortgage off, and then I recently went out and refinanced it again. I had my house fully paid off for about 7 years.
Well, money's cheap now. If you can use someone else's money for cheap.
You know, I looked at 4.375 for 30-year fixed financing, and I thought this is cheap money. So I did. And I'm a big believer in paying your house off. I increased my assets, so I have more assets than I borrowed, so I still have a big chunk of that money left, so I could write it down and pay it off really fast. But why would I want to pay off a loan that only has 4.375 when I can make more of that maybe on the investment side? So I would do the same thing, put money in a side fund that builds up faster so that maybe 10 years down the road I pay it off. But now I have the option to pay it off. Good question.
And certainly, so if you have credit card debt, pay it off first.
Yeah, credit card debt is ugly. Yeah, credit card debt. By the way, there are some people that talk that the credit card debt gets really out of control. I have a whole lesson on the dangers of debt. And biblically, the Bible does not tell us that we should avoid debt. The Bible just warns us in Proverbs practically that if you're a debtor, you're a slave. You have an owner. If you're borrowing money from somebody, they're the owner. By the way, the